McCarthy, and I'm out here at Laguna Seca Raceway in Monterey, California. Today I'm testing out the new Continental Extreme Contact Force tires, and let's see how they do. Our first session we did in the Michelin Pilot Sports, and now we're trying out the new Continental Extremes. Alright, so as we approach turn 11, it's all about exit speed to set up our time for the next lap. As you can see, the Continentals give a great bite out of the corner, while the previous other tires required a tad bit of counter steer. I was on duty driver coaching this day, so my first test in the Continentals, I had a passenger with me. But anyways, the first thing I noticed about these tires is how well they handle in braking zones. This made it very comfortable driving deep into the corners. The bridges between turn 3 and 4 and turn 5 act as great reference points to visually understand the time delta that is occurring between these tires. Even with the added weight of my passenger, we are still able to carry great pace into and around these corners in the Continentals. Alright, this was session 1 in the Extreme Contact Force tires. The biggest walkaway from this is the stopping power. We were able to go about 2 car lengths deeper in the braking zone and still bring it back and hit the apex. The second biggest thing was the predictability. When you're on the edge and you're on the limit, there's no sudden snaps when the rear end comes out. It does exactly what you think it's going to do. And then the third walkaway is just the consistency. We did a full 20-minute session just on the limit, going 10 tenths, and all those laps from lap 1 to lap 10 were all within the same tenth of a second. So it was a lot of great things to come from this tire. Alright, now this is our last session today in the Extreme Contact Force tires by Continental, and you can see right off the bat we're coming up on our friend in the M2 comp, and he's just on the standard DOT tires that come with the car, and we're just flying by him and just going really deep into turn 5, out braking him, turning in, still hitting that apex and just launching our way up the hill. Now turn 6 is a very scary corner because with any car, if you hit that divot wrong, it will kind of throw you sideways, and there's a lot of consequences to be had in this situation. However, this car just eats it, and we just climb up the hill. And now we're kind of working our way up towards lap traffic, so we're going to have to just kind of slow down pace a bit. It is a track day, not a competition, so we don't want to get in there, grill too much, or freak them out, because we don't know how much seat time these people we're coming up on really do have. So we're just going to wait a bit, and then hopefully get them by in between turn 10 and 11, so we could really start our next lap off correctly. And then right there we get by them, setting up turn 11, going in deep, coming back, hitting that apex, and just watch this bite coming out, just perfect grip, launching us to start our next lap. Now we're booking pretty deep now. It's hard on the brakes in turn 2, and then come back and hit the second apex. The first apex is kind of a throwaway, so we come back, hit the second one, and just launch out the corner. And just watch the hand movement on the steering wheel. Watch how smooth these tires really can handle these corners. The sidewall is just eating it. It's perfect levels of grip I can ask on this car. And again, still a little bit slower traffic. We gotta kind of just tippy-toe around. Turn 6 finally at full speed, and just watch. You got a nice turn in, ease on the throttle, and just no reaction whatsoever with the tires. They just handle it and rip us up with the corkscrew. still no reaction really with the tires. They're just, whatever we're throwing at them, they just completely take. I mean, as you can see through that high-speed corner and then this turn 10 as well, I mean, just watch the hand movement again. It's just ideal. You can't really ask for much better than this. And alright, now we got one clean lap, and I'll just crank up the car sound so you really hear everything else, and I'll hop off the mic. Tire temps and pressures, because those are the biggest indicators of handling. For example, if a car oversteers, the rear tires will build up more pressure and heat compared to the fronts. But anyways, I went out at 29 psi on all 4 corners, and after 20 minutes on the track, all 4 tires came in at 34 psi. This means our stock M2 comp had a neutral personality on these tires, which is ideal for flying laps. And after reading all our tire temps, it seems these tires like to be run with less camber compared to our base setup, just because our insides were a lot hotter than our outsides on all 4 corners of our tires.
170. Okay.
Alright, we just wrapped up our last session on the Continental Extreme Contact Force tires, and they were nothing but incredible. We went out there for 10 hard laps for a 20-minute session, just running at 10 tenths. And the more laps I did, the grippier and grippier I felt like they were getting as they were kind of melting away and just getting that sticky content out of them. The sidewall of the tires were very consistent, where there was no snappage going on. It was just very easy to tell when the car was on the limit, and then when he passed the limit, there was no consequence. It would just slowly kind of brush out from you. So I really like these tires. I think they're a great tire for any amateur who's getting in looking for that extra grip, and it's one of the best tires I think I've ever tried on this M2 comp. Contact tires. I know.
You gotta get that's gonna flow. Tommy, what's the tire?
Well, at first glance, this tire has a lot more of a slick tread pattern, where there's a lot more contact to be made with the track. And that's because Continental teamed up with Bougie Tire to make this tire. We're rolling. Okay, today we're at, okay, should I, yes, no. This tire because contact area for the, tire.